Hello, this is Crystallis Capricornius, and today I want to talk about Japan. I lived in Japan for 4 months, and I know that many people in my age want to go to Japan or wanted to go to Japan, and it's always not very easy since you need money and you need a hotel, and the whole traveling can take a lot of money. So how I got into Japan is how many people got into Japan. I would say it's from manga, anime, games. I played many JRPGs, and I think why I got into it was probably because of Pokemon when I was like 5 or something. And I just started to take more and more interest. And actually, when I was a child, I took more interest in China. And I always heard like and looked into things about China. But then I heard and figured out that it's so much more harder to go to China and more restricted. So the next option, what would be, is Japan. And I got more interested about the people, the culture, and the language. So I started to learn Japanese on my own and tried it, which was very hard. But I studied hiragana and katakana on my own. I learned some kanjis because I always had some interest even in kanjis. Many people say that the kanji is so hard and they don't want to or they can't learn it. I think for me personally, I don't have much problems with kanji. When I was in the school, I took extra classes for kanji because I'm just interested in it and I like it a lot. One reason for that is that you can just read it. If you know the sign for fire and you see in a bigger kanji the sign for fire, you can probably guess that it has something to do with it. So that helps a lot to read Japanese in general. And if you see a Chinese sign, it can also help you a lot if you see some Chinese kanji, which are sometimes different from the Japanese ones, then this can also help you. So I think it's very informative and interesting. So, and since I was in Fukuoka, there were many Chinese tourists, and there were also some advertisement always in Chinese at the train station. But to go from the beginning, at that point in 2016, I lived in Grünbach am Schneeberg, which is in Lower Austria. So first I had to go to the Vienna airport, which takes about 1.5 to 2 hours from that place. And my mom and my stepdad accompanied me there to Vienna, and then I had to go everything alone, which was very hard. At that moment, I was 23 and I was so nervous about this. But I like traveling a lot, and it was my first traveling which I did alone. My English is very good, but my Japanese was very low at that point. So first I had to go to the airplane in Vienna and fly to Helsinki. In Helsinki is the kind of center airport for flying to Asia, what I have noticed. And in other European countries, it's not that easy to find an airplane or like cheaper. I don't know how to say this, but anyway, back then you have to go to Helsinki, and then from Helsinki I flew to Tokyo first because they didn't have the connection to Fukuoka. Nowadays they do, since I think last year they have a connection from Helsinki to Fukuoka. But like I said, back then I had to go to Tokyo first, and the Tokyo airport is so big and so many parts they have, and not many people speak English, even on the airport in Japan, and I can still remember how lost I was. So I was just asking in a shop and be like, where do I have to go? And that woman didn't speak English, and she tried to find someone who speaks English, and that was so nice. This was my first impression also of Japanese people, that she tried to find someone for me who speaks English and try to help me. And that really helped me. Then I found the right gate to Fukuoka. This traveling took like 2 days. I had no sleep, so you can imagine how tired I was. Unfortunately, I can't remember how Tokyo looked like from above. I think it was even night, so I didn't really see much about that. But yeah, then I went to Fukuoka. I flew to Fukuoka. That took again like 2.5 or 3 hours. And I saw that. Like, I can remember how Fukuoka looks like from above. It was very beautiful and very nice, but I was so sleep deprived. And when I came to the airport, we were 2 hours late. And I have heard that not all the taxi drivers are waiting. And since I was new there, I had no idea where to go. And like I said, my Japanese wasn't very good. So I went to the taxi driver and was like, are you my taxi driver? And he was like, I don't know. Like, I don't speak English. Then I said like, oh, okay, just wait. I get my luggage quickly and then I come again. He didn't understand me, but at least he waited. That's a very good thing. And yeah, he helped me. We went to the taxi and it was very early in the morning, I think. And yes. Then I went to my, like, we drive to the apartment and it was so small. Like, and I came there, was like, oh my god, what is this? It's 12 quadrat meters. Maybe some bathrooms are even bigger than that. So it was furnished. There was a small bed, a desk, a night lamp, of course, air conditioner, small balcony, a very, very small bathroom, and that was it. That was it. There was a fridge there, but I didn't really use that one because it wasn't broken, but it didn't really cool down as it should have, I think. So, yes. I have also said in another video that the apartments in Fukuoka, at least, what I have heard outside, are not that good. So I heard everything, all the neighbors, and there were some problems with it. So I had to sleep with earphones and earplugs and the television. Meanwhile, that was not a very good experience. But from the rest of Japan, it was very nice. Other thing that I can say about this, in Fukuoka, I felt the safest. I traveled a lot. I was in 9 countries, and in Japan, I really felt safe. Like, I don't have to like cringe to my bag and be like, oh my god, I hope no one steals the stuff, or that someone would rob me or whatever. I felt very safe. I didn't find this in any other place so far. You have probably also heard that there are some trains which are like separate from men and women. I also didn't see that this happens. So there were always like men and women together, and there was no problem of groping or anything, because I hear that sometimes in the internet that people are, especially women, are scared of that it happens to them. It didn't happen to me. And yeah, Japanese people are like quite outside. They respect others, but if they live in the apartment, that's something else. Yeah, in the train, don't talk loud or don't talk at all. Don't do like calls or anything, no loud music, or else you have big problems. But yeah, on the other side, that was really nice. I went to school. I studied Japanese for 4 months. I was there from January to May. Unfortunately, there was no snow, but I can tell you, in May it got so hot. And on one side, I was happy to go back to Austria because it was so hot. I was like feeling I just melt like ice cream. You sweat the whole time. Um, yeah, like I said, I went there to school. I studied Japanese language and culture. I did some extra classes. What I can also say, what impressed me a lot was the shrines, the temples, and the parks. Like they are in the middle of the city center, many of them, and it's so quiet. And you can't even believe that. I like to go to the Rakusuyen Park, and it is, like I said, in the middle of the city. You pay 100 yen to get inside, and it's quiet and really nicely built. There was even like a tea shop and tea ceremony there, and really nicely made. And also the shrines and temples, they are quiet. They are built in a way which you can't, like, you can see it on pictures, but that's not the same. It has some atmosphere of calmness, peacefulness, even if the cars are just outside but you don't hear them. Other thing that really impressed me are the shopping centers. They are very big, very clean, and just organized. There are some fountains inside there. It's really, really pretty. It's a bit sad that other countries can't do that. At least in Europe, I haven't seen something like this. And yeah, what I have just witnessed from Japanese people, they try to help as much as possible, even if they don't understand you. And of course, if you talk to them Japanese, they are very, very impressed. So, yeah, what else can I tell? With the school, we did some like outgoings that you go to some Iki Island or to some forest, some bamboo forest, or just outside the city. That was very beautiful too, and I would recommend if you go to the Genki-Check school where I was. If you have time, then do that. I didn't do all of them because I like to have my free space and just go around and enjoy and look at the city. Also, the shops or the markets where you buy the food are kind of big, but very nice, organized, clean. The food was also very good. There is also lots of variety, but if you're a picky eater, then it's a bit difficult. I'm a picky eater, or I was, so it was a bit difficult. I don't eat fish. And maybe as you think or you have heard from someone that Japanese people eat a lot of fish, I can't really say that that is the truth. I have seen more restaurants which are like not with fish. Many restaurants are just noodles or just meat, chicken, pork, everything basically, octopus even. So many things are, it's like if you don't eat fish or pork or chicken, or there's so much variety that you can still eat something. I have actually seen less of the sushi and maki, which is like in Europe, and I think America is like a big thing, and they say like this is the Japanese way, but it's not. I have seen not much of sushi and maki in Japan. I've seen more like these rice balls and like meat, vegetables, yeah, something like that. But you can get a lot in Japan. Other thing that is a bit more rare is milk, because Japanese people don't drink milk so much. But even that is not a problem. You just notice in the shops that it's a bit less, but you still get it, so no problems. Yeah, the streets in Japan are very clean. Everyone tries to respect your own space. The trains are on time, especially now. I have seen a lot in Facebook that people say like, oh my god, Japanese people are always on time. They are not always on time, but very close. So they kind of do their job very good, but not perfectly. Because like I said, people say that they're always on time. There's never problems. That's not true. But they're probably one of the best countries where it works. And for the train, you need a card. You have probably seen that if you watch anime or you inform yourself about Japan, you get like a card here, and you just switch over that to go to the train. That's quite cool. Like I would like that other countries have that too. I also had a quite interesting experience in Japan. As you know, it's earthquake land country. There are earthquakes many times. And I think it was in April. Where the Kumamoto earthquake was. And it infected Fukuoka a lot. I was there and I witnessed it. In Austria, we have some small earthquakes, but this one was a big one. And if you're interested in it, you can just Google it or put in Wikipedia Kumamoto earthquake. The first one was, I think, 7.4 and the second one was 7.9. The city got destroyed in Kumamoto. The castle doesn't stand anymore. And Kumamoto is very close to Fukuoka. At that time, since in Fukuoka I had to buy the water from the store, so you get like a bottle, like a very big bottle, and we got our water from Kumamoto. So when you went to the store at that point, you had to be very fast or very lucky that there is the water. If we didn't get any water, then we just put it from the pipe from home and boil it and then leave it be that it's cold again. I'm not sure if it's safe to drink the water, but I have heard in some apartments, and I think that was in my case, the water you should boil it. In school, I didn't have to boil the water, that I can drink it. So yeah, it was a bit scary, and at that point my TV was shaking. I just took my laptop and went under the desk. Many people ran outside and started to scream or just try to get away from the building, what I have heard that you actually shouldn't do. And there were Japanese people, so I didn't quite know what to do. I just did the instructions that the school gave me and the instructions that I have heard that you should do. I was in the 4th floor, I think. Yeah, and the building had like 8 floors, as far as I can remember. So, and at that time we had many earthquakes after that and before that. I called my mom at that point and she said like, well, this was probably the biggest one. There won't be another one. But that was not true because like on the next night there was the bigger one. And we have seen in the television how everything shakes, the whole traffic, and people died. And on the next day when I went to the train station, there were like people and organizations who tried to get money for the people in Kumamoto and to build the whole village again. I think for now they have kind of done it, but the castle is just destroyed. So that was quite scary too. And like I said, there were many earthquakes after that, which were lower. I think they were always between 3 and 4. But even in school, we noticed it that some classes are shaking. And yeah, but mostly the earthquakes were always in the night. And I was thinking, like, when it got dark, does the next earthquake come soon? And it did a few times. So if you are really scared about natural disaster or earthquakes, Japan might be not for you. Uh, for me, it was okay. I know that I have to like think about this, that it might come. And when the biggest earthquake was the 7.9, I think, I told my mom, it was in the middle of the night, and my mom always said like, just come home already. And I said like, no, if the people die here, then why should I have that thing that I can go somewhere else? And like, I live now in Japan for this time, and if I really die, then I die with this country. But like, I didn't die, and we were quite safe in Fukuoka, but there was a tsunami warning at that point because the earthquake was already so strong that it could have been. But even though the earthquake was, we still went to school because like the earthquake was mostly in the middle of the night, and it was kind of weird to think that everyone had the same experience. And on the next day, you could have seen like on every face the tiredness. Everyone was like sleep deprived, and every one of us had the same event going on. We all knew that there was an earthquake and people were more together, and seeing that also is kind of warming. If I would think about Europe and that this would happen, no one would be like that. So as I see Japanese people, they are in a community together. But yeah, they seem like this from outside. I don't know if they are in the apartment, maybe that's something else. Yeah, I think that was kind of it from my Japanese trip. If you have any questions about Japan or Fukuoka, or you want to go there, you need some maybe preparation help, just tell me and I will try to answer as good as possible. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next video. Bye!